guys, welcome back and I hope you guys are doing great. So today's video is gonna be about a capsule collection kind of a thing. So if I was to go back and restart my makeup collection, then these would be the products that I would personally purchase first. So this is just for anyone who is a beginner who just wants to dive into makeup. These will be the products that I would suggest for you to buy. All of the things that I'm gonna be talking about are gonna be affordable. Obviously, your girl is very broke. She's not gonna be flaunting her expensive products at all because she does not own any. So yes, you have probably gotten the gist by now. So yeah, let's get started with the video. So the first thing I want to talk about is a primer. I'm gonna go in the order that I personally do my makeup. Primer, I do understand for some people can be necessary. Personally, I wear my sunscreen every day. So every time I wear sunscreen is when I'm wearing makeup outside. So generally my sunscreen tends to become my primer. So I don't really like to invest in something else. For me, I use the Neutrogena sunscreen. So that is pretty much, it's very dimethicone and it does kind of fill in your pores and give you that, not exactly blurred up effect, but it does give you kind of a base to work with. So if you are using sunscreen, which you should by the way, then I don't think you need to invest in a primer as of right now. Obviously, after using your sunscreen with your makeup, if you feel the need to have a primer, then yes, you can go ahead and invest. But if you are still looking for something that creates a good base for your makeup, I would suggest the Pond's Super Light Gel Moisturizer. This is a moisturizer, but it does have dimethicone as the second ingredient in it. I believe it does give you that slightly blurred up effect. Does it work as well as a primer? No, obviously it's not intended to be used like that. But if you are looking for something on budget, I would suggest that one. Try it out, try it with your sunscreen, try it with this moisturizer and see whatever works the best for you. If both of these things don't work, then maybe you can invest on it. I personally don't have that issue. I am perfectly fine using my sunscreen, so I don't really have a proper recommendation, or I'm just not looking for a primer at this point in my life, so I wouldn't really go back and purchase a primer first. The next part is base, so foundations. I have two foundations here with me. The thing about foundations is I would suggest, if you're just a beginner and if you just want to use one product, I would highly suggest going for a high coverage foundation. That way you can possibly skip the concealer, buy a high coverage foundation and then see if your under eye circles are still visible, like pretty visible. If they are not, I'm pretty sure your foundation, your full coverage foundation can do the job of a concealer. I personally use my full coverage foundation as a concealer when I go to my college and stuff. As a person who really suffered with acne, still suffers with acne, but back in the day it was even more major, I did use a lot of concealer. Concealer was my savior. I did not go out without a concealer. That's how bad my acne was. And at that point of time, I do understand that a concealer is definitely more appealing, but a full coverage foundation can do a similar job for you. If you are using a foundation, it will definitely last you longer since it does contain a lot of product, and it also is in the similar price range that a lot of concealers are. So my suggestion would be, if you are starting your makeup collection, go with the foundation first and then look into concealers. The foundation recommendations I have are the Whenever Photo Focus foundation. This is in the shade Toffee. I have feelings about this, but the foundation is pretty damn good. I would say it's high in coverage instead of full coverage. It does not cover everything, but it still gives a decent amount of coverage. If you can find your shade in this one, do grab it. If you can't, then I would suggest the Lakme 925 Primer Plus Matte Perfect Cover Foundation for you guys. It does give you a really good finish first of all, and it does cover a lot of your scars. If you want to see how both of these work, I have reviewed both of them on my channel. I will link them in the description down below. So yes, at the beginning of my personal collection, I would have definitely went in with a foundation instead of a concealer. Having said that, I also feel like some people might need concealer, like the Wet n Wild foundation. If I use it underneath my eyes, it does tend to look dark, but to lighten that up, I use the Photo Focus concealer. This as a concealer do not really enjoy it that much, but as a highlighter kind of a thing, I do like it. So I put it in my T-zone and in the inner portions of my under eyes. Yeah, so I use this one over there. Do I enjoy it as a concealer? No, but as an affordable option, I think this is worth trying as a highlighting concealer if you want one. As a concealer, I do not think you should just go solo on this one. Doesn't really work that well. For concealer, if you want something that really covers things, I would suggest the LA Girl Pro concealer. I have it in the shade Warm Honey or something. So this concealer, it really does cover a lot. It's a pretty good concealer. I'm gonna be honest, this has served me so well, especially during the time when my acne was at its worst. I feel like this has covered a lot for me. Obviously it does not cover texture up, but the spots and stuff, if you are a person who used to pick on their acne, I used to be that person, sometimes still am, would not recommend. Do not pick on your acne. It will just try not picking on your acne for a while. You will realize the difference it makes. But this did cover it up pretty well when I had issues with it. Another recommendation would be the Maybelline Age Rewind concealer. I feel like that has pretty good reviews. Personally haven't tried it, but if you are interested, you might want to look into that. But I would suggest first pick a foundation. If you feel the need to pick a concealer, then go ahead and pick one up. For another recommendation of foundation, I would suggest the Superstay foundation, but that is a really good foundation if you're looking for a great coverage. It is kind of expensive, so that's the reason I didn't include it in this particular video, but if you're looking for it, then that would be a great option as well. The next thing is setting your under eyes. Now, I don't set the entirety of my face. The only part I set is the T-zone, the nose area, and the under eyes. So I personally use my Wet n Wild contour palette in the shade Caramel Toffee. This is just a fabulous powder. This is so smooth, this is so soft. I'm talking about the banana powder, by the way, to set the under eyes. So grab this one if it's on sale, if you're seeing it on sale. It's really good, and the contouring part is something I do use as a bronzer kind of thing. When it's on your cheeks, it does turn to be a little bit more red than what I would like for myself, but I still do use this one because it's just a little deeper to my skin. I wish it was more warm than red, and that would be perfect for me. For some people, this does blend into a neutral tone. It's not a contour if you're looking for one. It's definitely more of a bronzer kind of thing. So the next thing I want to talk about are eyes. I don't think there is any other palette that is as good as this one right now available in the Indian market at a price point that this retails for. This does retail for 500 rupees, I believe, but on discount, again, you can find it on 50% discount. Grab it, you guys. This is one palette I feel like if I ever go through, I will repurchase, not just because of the formula or anything, which is a great formula, by the way, but the color story, you guys. If this was a little bigger, the pan size were a little bigger, this would probably cover everything. This bone shade, it works really well as a highlighting color on the brow bone, or even sometimes in the inner portions. If it's looking a little darker, if you haven't really used a highlighting concealer in that area, this bronzy color works amazing as a bronzer. I have used this previously as a bronzer and it works absolutely well. This particular shade, I wouldn't say it works well as a contour. For me, it's kind of too dark, but if you mix this in with other shades and stuff, this will work as a good contouring, bronzing kind of a thing. I so wish this was a bigger palette. If I find something at the same color shade, I believe Makeup Revolution has that, but the formula on this one is definitely better than the Makeup Revolution formula I personally have tried out. If this palette, these three colors were kind of bigger in bigger pans, I would have used them as blush. So yeah, these two as blush and this as a highlighter. I am wearing this color as a highlighter. I wouldn't say it's a metallic shade. It has a tendency to look weird or kind of different than normal highlighters on your cheeks. So my suggestion, I'm repeating this for the third time, is if you're planning to buy a blush, a highlighter, a eyeshadow palette, a contour and bronzer, buy this palette first. See how much you can work with this, and then go ahead and buy the things you can't work with this. Like for me, these two particular colors that I would have loved to use as blushes, I find the pan size to be really small, that I don't really gravitate towards using them. Someone make a bigger version of this. I feel like it does so many jobs that it's absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, if you're looking to put your money on something, I would highly suggest this palette. Having said that, if you want highlighter recommendations, I would suggest the Maybelline Master Chrome in the variant Molten Gold. That's a good one. Even Wet n Wild highlighters I've heard are really buttery and really nice. So maybe if you want to pick a highlighter up, any of those two would be great. I don't own both of them, but I've only heard good reviews, so just a suggestion if you want one. Let's talk about other eye products. So the first thing is eyebrows. Even if you are a person who does not really do their brows, I would suggest having a brow pencil. Brows really just change how you look. It really does make a big difference. This is by Wet n Wild. It retails for 499 rupees or something. Again, 50% discount. I've never gotten this for more than 300 rupees, I believe. But this particular pencil, it works really well. This is in the shade medium brown. This is a really good starting point. It works really well. It's kind of very much forgiving. It's not like a pomade or anything. If not this, if you have a eyeshadow palette with some browns and with some cooler toned browns and blacks, I would say try that. I don't think I can ever go back to just being bare browed or just having no product in my brows. So yes, a brow pencil, specifically the Wet n Wild one, I would suggest having it in your collection. The next two products are something you could have clubbed if you had a gel eyeliner. So the eyeliner, this is by Lakme. Again, would recommend this one. This does a pretty good job. I would suggest having a gel eyeliner. I know a lot of people say this is easier to work with. I personally find that gel eyeliners are a little bit more easier to work with, since you can hold the brush pretty close to the tip. A pencil is definitely the most basic one. You can obviously use this in your waterline and as a liner. If you have a gel eyeliner, you can obviously put it in your waterline as well. So both of these products will be eliminated. I would suggest the Nykaa one or the Maybelline one. So yes, liner and an eyeliner, I feel like having it in your collection is always great, but you can eliminate both of these by having one single product. Okay, hi, intermission. So I forgot to talk about mascara and I just feel like it's absolutely important, at least for me. So I just wanted to mention it briefly. So if you're just choosing, if you're not a person who experiments a lot with eye looks, to be honest, you can skip a liner, a gel eyeliner, and I would definitely prefer a mascara over those two products. So if you are making a collection that is even more concise than what I'm mentioning, then I would highly suggest a mascara. It really does make a great difference. My product suggestion would definitely be the Lash Sensational. I don't think anything compares to that. It's just the absolutely best. And yeah, I think that is it. Let's get back to the video. The last part is lipsticks. Now I've made a whole video about 5 particular lipsticks that I would suggest for everyone to have. Today I have 4 to share with you guys, just because I'm trying to make this video as basic as possible. The first one will be a nude shade. This is the nude nuance shade in the creamy mattes, the Maybelline creamy mattes range. I have made a whole video on creamy mattes. If you want it, I'll link it somewhere around. If you're just going to be purchasing one single lipstick, I would suggest it to be a nude color rather than being a more colorful kind of a shade. The next one would be a red color. Again, I have the same range and it's the Divine Wine shade. I've made a whole video about red lipsticks. If you want it, you can watch it. Same goes for the nude lipsticks. I have made a 5 nude affordable nude lip video. It will be linked somewhere around or in the description, obviously. So the Divine Mind shade, anyone and everyone probably knows how much I love this red color, so I would suggest having a nude lip and a red lip. Mixing those two, you can often find yourself creating a pink shade, so I wouldn't really suggest having a pink lipstick if you are looking for a very capsulated or a very minimal collection. But I still have a pink lipstick to share, because you can use this as a blush if you don't have a blush. That's the reason I'm including this one, just as a substitute for blush. This is in the shade Touch of Spice. The last thing I would suggest is having a lip gloss is always great. I don't wear it on a daily basis, but if I have worn a lipstick like for 6 hours, it's not really there, but it still has some pigment, probably looking a little dry and stuff. Putting on a lip gloss would help a lot. It revives your lips, it makes your lips less dry. Or if you are a person whose lips go really dry and stuff, I would suggest putting a lip gloss first. Tap it in your lips a little bit and then apply your lipstick. I feel like lip gloss does a pretty good job as a lip balm. Obviously it does not have nourishing properties that a lip balm has, but a lip gloss still works pretty fine if you're wearing a lipstick. So yes, that would be my 4th suggested lip product. And yeah, I think that is it. I'm not suggesting a setting spray. I personally don't believe it's necessary at the beginning. If you're just starting out your makeup collection, buy these products first and then start to pat it out in the direction that you want. Maybe that would be a blush, or maybe that could be just eyeshadow palettes. But yeah, I hope you guys found this video helpful. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, comment and subscribe. Do let me know which product you personally feel is a necessity while starting a makeup collection for yourself. So yeah, that is it. Once again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I will see you in my next one. Bye.